Folks, the news around the Middle East is unbelievable. I mean, look, there's no dull moment, and none of it should surprise us because we know what to expect to develop geopolitically speaking, right? The kind of shifting that's going on is unbelievable, and you don't see a lot of titles or news stories coming out from the north, but this one is an interesting one. Let me read you the article here, or at least a portion of it. The title says, Israel's maritime border with Lebanon could be more imminent. Now, this is very interesting because for those of you that don't know what's going on, Hezbollah, which, by the way, in Arabic means the party of God, is actually trying to escalate a huge problem between Lebanon and Israel. Now, Lebanon is already not doing well because of the economic collapse that's taking place over there. And what's even more interesting concerning that is there is an open dispute with respect to what is going on with the body of water in the Mediterranean that is tied to the northern portion of Israel and the southern portion of Lebanon. So this is crazy, and it's really all about gas fields. That's really what the story is about, and that's what they're arguing. As a matter of fact, the story that got me kicked off of Facebook for 90 days was me condemning the actions of Hezbollah in trying to destroy a gas field that was in possession of the Israelis, and the IDF successfully warded them off. And when I condemned the actions of terrorism, well, that's when Facebook basically said, you were supporting it. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. And they still have not answered my appeal, which has been 30 days, but that's beside the point. It's been that's a whole other issue. But let me read you a portion of this article because it is very interesting. It says, Israeli and Lebanese residents are facing escalating tensions on the border after Hezbollah leaders threaten to retaliate if Lebanon doesn't get what they believe it is due in ongoing negotiations over the country's maritime border. And this is the quote here. It says, if Lebanon secures its rights, calm will be maintained. However, escalation will be inevitable if Lebanon's rights are denied. Now, this is Sheikh Hassan Nasrallah who said this, and he is a part of Hezbollah's organization and shared this with their news organization, which is called Al-Manar. Now, very interesting story that goes with this, and it relates to the desperation that Lebanon is beginning to feel over its energy problems, which happens to be a problem all over the world. But you know what isn't a problem all over the world, or isn't a problem with Israel that is with the whole world? And that is the fact that Israel is becoming more and more energy independent. And this goes right back to the contributors and the shifting that we know will have to happen to contribute to what we know is going to take place in Ezekiel 38, because the very thing that Russia is going to go after and that conglomerate of desperate nations is going to be Israel's energy amongst many other resources. Folks, we are watching the last days begin to develop in front of us. God is setting up the markers. This is very, very interesting. And Hezbollah is using this as its latest rhetoric to push out justification for their terrorist action. Things are changing, folks. They're changing rapidly. And one thing is certain, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, Jesus is coming soon. Heads up. God bless you guys.